traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Darug people, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We also extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders present today.
So today, Ulolo da tinya pamubak news CK Barato, wala himuda do papat pe chigo do hokula bo kutni me kwa daruko do babata yo pake akuna do atugita pa la apui kegini do kasinyarka do pada kemba wala usubta lata opu pa Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lehemalan koratani no.
To officially begin our celebration, we invite T. Samuela to sound the traditional horn.
Jika bersama orang nak kelas selala, apa tak kembali di semua ada ke unibuat minyo lula kue mana.
the Rising Sun, and also CFPH and UG support. You are very welcome. We are honored by your presence and we appreciate your support. Let me start by acknowledging the traditional custodian of the land on which we meet, and I pay my respect to the elders, past and present. I recently saw a list of New Year's that people can celebrate in this country because we are a multicultural society, and virtually you can say Happy New Year every month, and it'll be relevant to somebody. But I didn't see any reference to the Korean New Year. There was a reference for Thinjang, which is the Buddhist New Year. So let me start by saying that the Korean New Year is based on the lunar calendar. It falls on the first day of Korean month, which is Lalay. And this period is when the rice crop has been harvested, and the first crop has to be blessed and consumed. And the new year begins usually in the paddy field, in the rural areas, where an elder or spiritual leader blesses the first crop of rice. This is then carried back to the village in a small procession with families in traditional dress, singing, drumming, and welcoming the new year with dance, food, and celebration.
today. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Wallumedegal people of the Darug Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I also want to acknowledge the elders of the Karen community here today, whose leadership, resilience and wisdom have carried your culture, language and traditions across generations and across borders. I've been joining you for this celebration for more than a decade, and it's something I really enjoy every January, and it's incredibly important to do, particularly reflecting Karen people in Myanmar to be able to celebrate in the way we are today. They just can't celebrate with the same freedom and sense of enjoyment about such a special occasion. The Karen New Year is a powerful expression of identity, survival and continuity. It's a day for renewal, reflection and unity, and a time to look forward with hope, while honouring the journey that has brought your community to this moment. Thank you for welcoming me so warmly today. I'm proud to stand with you in celebration, solidarity and friendship. God Lok, Kik New Year and Happy New Year.
Tapu to everybody who invited me here today. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Tumam Shre, the MUG representative to Australia. Thank you for all the work that you do here for your country. I'd like to thank Solomon Hu, and thank you for everything you do at the Australian Karen organisation. My two very good friends, and Manjwan Rock, it's a pleasure to meet you here today. And thank you for putting on this wonderful celebration and continuing with, ensuring that the Karen tradition lasts and sustains and maintains here in Australia. Very important to do. Your voices are heard. I'm on socials. Please take a look at the video and share it with your good friends, because the more we get this out there, the more people know about the plight and the fight and the hope and your beautiful community. Thank you very much.
We now have a special performance from the up-and-coming generation of Karen performers. Please welcome to the floor the dancers for the Karen Children's Mixed Dough Dance. the dancers for that fantastic performance.
ဒါပေမဲ့ဒါစစ်ပဲဒီတော့ကိုတာကိုရတယ်နော်ဒါဆိုအဲ့မှာနော်တကယ်တကယ်
Now we are honoured to hear from Dr. Tunong Shui, the National Unity Government of Myanmar, representative to Australia. Please welcome him to the stage.
KA Weba Walker Sala, National Unity Government Myanmar, represents to Australia, Dr. Tunong Shui.
Very good afternoon, Mr. Field, members for Brazil, Senator Jessica Collins, Senator from New South Wales, and then Mr. Lachlan Mada, the Deputy CEO of the STARS, and then T. Manjaro, and then the Solomon, and then the representative of the MBCDC, Rising Sun Foundation, and CRPH and Energy Support New South Wales, and members of the Australian Career Organizations. Happy, safer, and prosperous Korean Union. Thank you for inviting me to be part of the very special occasions of the Korean New Year, Korean Era 2765. Here at the Roseland Community Center, it's a real honor to join you, and I want to acknowledge the hard work of the organizers, volunteers, community leaders, and families who make today possible. Before I begin, I also wish to acknowledge traditional owner of the land on which we gather today, and I pay my respects to the elders, past and present, and to the all First Nation people here with us. That Korean New Year it's much more than a date on the calendar. It is a time of renewal, unity, and resilience. A time to reflect on where we have come from, to celebrate who we are, and to strengthen the bond that carry the community forward. Today's objective speak powerfully to that spirit. To celebrate together in unison with Korean communities around the world. Your presence, your story, and your culture enrich this country. So today, as you share speeches, honor elders, hear refugees updates, and enjoy cultural performances, and later, lunch and entertainment, may this gathering renew friendships, deepen unity, and strengthen bonds. So with one wishes for a peaceful and prosperous New Year, thank you again for welcoming me. Happy, safer, and prosperous Korean New Year to you all. Thank you so much.
program is the Elder Tribute. It is a significant part of Korean New Year celebrations. It's an opportunity to honour our elders. It is time to recognise their wisdom and show our gratitude for their contributions to our community. It's also a time to seek blessings from the elders for success and good fortune for the coming year. We invite our elders to take a seat, and the Karen children and youth will present them gifts and our heartfelt thanks.
Mengerikan pino sibuka mopa pabinyo terat no untuk beberapa nyo kalau pudak no. Kini ini bukan bukan waktu kita bawa kepada sibuka wati kepada ki suwa lalu diul lalu ke thom lalu dibatan no.
I'd like to begin my remarks today by acknowledging that we're on Aboriginal land, that we're here today, and to pay my respects to elders past and present. I'd also like to thank the organisers for the invitation to be here today. Acknowledge Tong Mun Shui from the National Unity Government, Saul Lee Nu, and Man John Rock, and all those others involved with the organising of today's event. I think I've remarked on numerous occasions in the past that I attend many community events in my role at STARTS, and this is one of the most impressive that I get along to. So congratulations to everybody involved in organising today. I know that there are many people involved, and it takes a lot of work, so my appreciation goes to you all. I'd like also to just highlight the presence of Julia Fenn, the State MP for Granville, and thank you, Julia, for your commitment to the Korean community over many years, and also Jessica Collins, New South Wales Senator. Wonderful to hear today of your connection with the Korean community that stretches back also over many years, so thank you. A couple of words about STARTS. the Service for the Treatment and Rehabilitation of Torture and Trauma Survivors. It's based here in New South Wales. The existence of an organisation like STARTS is really recognition that people making their way to Australia as refugees have been through some very considerably traumatic experiences, and that on arrival here and over the period of people's process of resettlement, it can be really of assistance for those who've been through those traumatic experiences to have the support of people like counsellors, in some cases with our work, people who are physiotherapists and assist people with injuries that they've sustained and the somatic effects of the impact of torture. But also one of the very significant roles that STARTS plays is about community engagement. We see our function as being connected with the refugee communities that have made their way into Australia. And that's been an ongoing commitment in our case over now more than 20 years with the Karen community. And I'd like to just highlight the work of Ms. Squee, who's our community development worker, who is working tirelessly to support the Karen community, and also works in with other minority communities that have come from Myanmar.
Sydney Youth Dancers.
Silver Sydney Youth Sydney Kenyota Sa they directly select.
We just wanted to remind everyone, obviously some of us have enjoyed the lunch, but for those of you who haven't had lunch, there's still plenty of food available, or if you do want seconds, if it wasn't enough to fill you up, please go and see the kitchen staff at the back of the hall. Now, to provide us with an important update, we welcome Saw Win Oo, the National President of the Australian Karen Organisation.
Thank you very much. I used to share the current political and the humanitarian crisis in Myanmar. So there is we used to be everyone have a knowledge about the Myanmar both crises, political and humanitarian, are happening also. That is called man-made disaster or natural disaster. I feel like which is a natural disaster we had happened. It was 2025 March, and the earthquake, which is a 7 scale of the earthquake, hit the upper, the middle of the Myanmar. That's a huge house and all the heritage buildings. Almost over 2 million people are homeless, and that is situation still happening. The government not take care about this thing, so that states, some things are going, but maybe internationally they might be forgotten, but things are still happening. Let me explain some of the current political and humanitarian crisis. Firstly, we are very appreciative and we are very delighted to see Junior Queen again today. Also, Cindy Jessica is very much welcome. Well, we're very glad to hear that you have knowledge about the current and your thesis, PhD thesis with the current a few months' time. So that is very grateful. Also, Lokla and the long-time friends, we have been together since 1988. But he was a student, I was an activist. So yeah. But saying that he's unwavering support to the Myanmar cause. Also, Dr. Thong Shui, and we are driving together. We fight since 5 years ago, since the military coup. Doctor was give up everything and joined in with the Myanmar diaspora. So we formed the CRB and used the support group. And then that's because of Dr. Thong Shui, his leadership, we are very much almost, like we've been organized and across Australia, 70 organizations in Myanmar diaspora into one voice as a CRP and youth support group. In 2022, we have a human rights award by the Australian International Development Agency. And the same thing that time our fellow, the War Mission, also together with us, so we have a human rights awards. Together in our topic, we, with the Korean people, remain firmly committed to the principle of the United Nations Charter, to human rights, to democracy, and to the right of all the people for self-determination. Our aspiration is clear: genuine democratic union of Myanmar, built on the liberty and the equality and social progress for every nationality. A union where president our Kodule, which is called currency, can finally exercise its rightful self-determination. But today, Myanmar stands at the dangerous crossroads. Election crisis. The military junta held its so-called general election on the 28th December.
On Twitter,
everybody, and I would like to congratulate all.
Thank you, Tasneem and Nate, for introducing me. But I'd like to say thank you to everyone here, and I hope you've had a lovely, long ceremony with us today for this Korean New Year celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, distinguished guests, affiliated organization, Korean elders, and community members. Thank you for your time today, and now I've been asked to give the vote of thanks and the closing remarks before we close this formal part of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, New Year is a time for joyous moments. It is a time for us to celebrate and to embrace all the achievements and the things that we've experienced throughout the year. It is also a time to reflect on the past of those achievements as well as the shortcomings that we've had. It is also a time to embrace the future with excitement and, must I say, with hope as well. I'd like to emphasize on this hope. In previous years, I've mentioned that we should be spending this new year to make resolutions, to unite and to work with each other. But this year, I think with as mental health and all these calamities are becoming more and more prevalent, whether it be disasters, natural disasters, or man-made conflict resulting disasters, I'd like to encourage you all and to remind you that you are not alone. And that, I think, is a very important message when it comes to creating a successful Korean New Year celebration like this. We aren't alone, and we all work together. All the little subcommittees come together from different backgrounds, different geographical locations, different political views and all of that, and we come together and we work together to bring what we can see today as a successful Korean New Year celebration. I'd now like to roll into my thank yous, and on behalf of the Korean New Year celebration, Korean Era 2765 this year, I'd like to thank our keynote speaker, Ms. Julia Finn, Member of Parliament, Member of Granville.
Lord. Amen.